On the Brooklyn Bridge tonight, voices strong, knowledge tight, thorough black talk in the air, changing minds, changing flair. From Brother Tad to Sister Kate, warriors got things to say. Sister Marcia brings the heat, Brother Blacksmith keeps the beat. Revolutionary waves they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral line. Thursday nights, the world will see Black Power Media on the screen. Facebook, YouTube, all aligned, breaking free from every bind. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral line. Ancestral line.
Standing strong on the bridge tonight. We got dreams and we got fight. Voices loud in the city's light. Change is coming into sight. History told by scars and pain. Echoes deep in every name. Legal truths we must reclaim. Through the storm and through the rain. Thorough black talk of you. With Brother Tad, Sister K, Sister Marcia, Brother Blacksmith. Cut the check or no vote, yeah. Justice calls from open skies. Tis the fall, ain't no disguise. Marching forward, no surprise. Strengthen hearts, you can't downsize. Every voice a sweet refrain. In this fight we share the strain. Through the joy and through the pain, bound together like a chain. Thorough black talk of you. With Brother Tad, Sister K, Sister Marcia, Brother Blacksmith. Cut the check or no vote, yeah.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, family. Welcome to another edition of Thorough Black Talk with your Sister K Fighter, Sister Marcia, Brother Tad, and Brother Blacksmith will be joining us shortly, family. We got a lot to get into tonight. Diddy case, the verdicts is in. We're going to deal with it tonight. And birthright citizenship. Where do you stand in all of this? What's really happening? I mean, there's a lot of commentary from legal analysts and political media But no one is really given the bread and butter of what's really going on with birthright citizenship. So we're going to get into that tonight, family. I cannot wait. And we're going to cover some historical facts that you may or may not know. And also, hang tight. Hang tight. You got a giveaway for y'all tonight. You got a giveaway for y'all tonight. So you want to hang tight and get ready because you don't want to miss that giveaway. Hope your knowledge is on the 1-2. You got to answer a trivia question in order to attain that prize. So can't wait for that. Shout out to Sister Brooke on the check-in. What's good, sis? What's happening? Always remember, family, the link is in our All right. I'm back. Everybody back? You hear me clearly? Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly. There's a storm of brewing, so the internet has been shoddy this evening. So I hope you all can hear me. If you can't, then let me know. So again, you can definitely click that link, send those emails out, because we want to let the legislators know that we need a sound constitutional bill that is lineage based for the descendants of freedmen. And that's the only route we're going. So always remember, every week we keep the link in the chat so you can share it. Share it with your friends and your family, let them know. Click that link and let's get it popping. Little Debbie, what's happening? Yeah, we're going to get into it, Sister Donna. Brother Kerwin, Alabama on the check-in. What's good, family? How are you? My Suffolk County crew. Sister Joyce, Brother Monty on the check-in. What's good? Sister Farnessa, Alabama. What's happening? We're gonna get into it tonight, sis. We're gonna get into it tonight, especially dealing with birthright citizenship, because there's some murmurings that are happening and a lot of false information, and we like to be thorough over here. So, I got the talking points and all of that queued up and ready to rock. Brother Tad of the OG Wisdom Podcast, Brother Blacksmith from another galaxy, they ready to rock up on the Brooklyn Bridge. Without further ado, family, let's get the OG Wisdom founder, Brother Tad himself, up on the Brooklyn Bridge. What's happening? Uh-oh. We got a freeze on. I'll tell you what.
Let's unmute that. Let's give me my round of applause right now.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, I'm back at it like a crack addict. How y'all feeling?
Yes, indeed, Brother Tad. I hope you had a good week so far. Let me just try to play with this, family. Like I said, there is a lot of things happening. A storm is brewing. So, a lot of things ain't popping the way they should be over here. But we're going to get it rocking. Just bear with me. So, from another galaxy, over out there in the BX, y'all know they ain't from here. Our very own extraordinaire, Brother Blacksmith, up on the Brooklyn Bridge. What's happening?
Peace, Brother Black.
Yo, what's up, Brother Tad? Peace, Sister Keisha. Peace to the Thorough Black Talk Radio family. Sister Marmar's on deck. She gonna get mad if she heard me say that, so I'm gonna get it right by the time she get in. How y'all doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, but if you get lumped up, don't say we ain't trying to help you over here,
Sister Marcia ain't coming up to the Bronx.
She ain't about that life? Is that what you saying?
I never seen her up there. I know Brother Tad stopped at 125th. I don't know about you, Sister Keisha.
I don't know.
At least he go uptown.
Nah, Sister, I don't rock with you uptown crap, so
Sister Keisha, she said, man, you better get on this express bus. I was about to drop a grip to get the hell out of the Bronx.
Hey, listen, the only city in the The only city I ever heard being referred to as a planet is Brooklyn.
That's
So
we different.
yeah, okay, I ain't never heard somebody say Planet Bronx.
Nah, they just say the Bronx, like the trash, the Bronx.
Okay.
So, we got a lot to cover tonight. We got a lot to cover. Of course, the verdict has come down as it relates to Sean P. Diddy Combs, Puffy, Brother Love, however way y'all want to refer to him. But as we said on this platform,
Tell them.
several months ago, when we broke down for each of you the operations of each federal office.
That was over a year ago, sis. That wasn't even
a year ago. Wow.
But yeah, that was before Puff got locked up. He got locked up in March of 24, I believe it was.
Nah, he got locked up last September.
Right. They raided him in
The
March.
raids, yeah, was in the springtime, but yeah.
Right. But we did the show a couple of weeks prior and talked about the function. You're right, Brother Black.
Right, the functions of the government agencies, the various government. Yes. I remember that. That was a very profound show. Go ahead, Sister Keisha.
Yes. So we already covered, when this whole thing went down, we revisited that issue because I found it very suspicious that the Department of Homeland Security would seize not only his belongings in his property, but also on the boat, right? Because remember, they went to the boat that was docked in Miami as well. There was alleged murmurings that there was some assaults that happened and children were involved and all kind of stuff that people were discussing as it relates to this case. And I said before, as it relates to the boat issue, I believe that the government is overreaching, and in fact, they are out of their jurisdiction. And Brother Black, being a merchant seaman, he understands the rule of maritime law, which trumps whatever nation's law you reside in. And so I don't know, but I would hope that his sons who were held along with their friend on his compound, if you will, to seek damages for that, because he was acquitted of the RICO charge and racketeering charge, which would have coincided with their search and seizure on the compound in Miami. So now that the charges have been dropped, the more serious charges have been dropped, we knew that Southern District Attorney Damian Williams was overreaching. And as testimony was revealed and court documents were read, you saw that some of the witnesses, which include Ms. Ventura and Jane, if you will, they were given immunity, if you will, for their participation in these freak-offs. And I found it suspicious that a district attorney who had brought RICO and racketeering charges against an individual and allowed its key witness to get immunity told me that something was up. Something was afoot. Because if there was human trafficking or child trafficking or anything like that, immunity is off the table. Especially when you're moving them from compound, which is land, to boat and vice versa. Laws change. So things were a little fishy. Then once the testimony of Miss Ventura was read in the courtroom, we found out that she too was complicit in the domination of these freak-offs. In fact, there was testimony read of her threatening someone on a telephone call, I believe, threatening that she would unalive him if they didn't show up. And so, but this country has had a long history. In fact, its own commissions reported that the legal system, as it relates to Black people, all of them are infested with racism. Y'all don't have to believe me. You can Google that yourself. Federal and state commissions on racism in legal practice, if you want. But I'm going to get off my soapbox. Brother Black, what are your thoughts on the verdict that was read yesterday with the two most serious charges being dropped and he being denied bail, actually being released on bail while sentencing is pending?
Great question, Sister Keisha. I believe, this is belief now, I believe that he was put in the room to expose how the music industry works. And then, with that said, expose all of the sex trafficking and so on and so forth. I wrote an article yesterday on melaninstitute.blogspot.com that posited that now that that's all exposed, and actually a lot of the people, the top tier 5-star celebrities, mainly actors and musicians, music industry people, are already gone. In Gitmo, I've been saying that for years now. I know it's hard for some of y'all to believe it, but CGI, cloning, doubles, lookalikes, we all saw Biden, and everybody know by now, whether they believe it or not, that wasn't the real Biden. Whatever. All I'm saying is that whole industry has now been exposed for how it actually works. And with it's obvious to me that the defense, the state, or excuse me, the federal government allowed that case to be lost that way, like you were saying a minute ago, Sister Keisha, because there was a lot of things. What happened to the white guy that was his mule that testified that he was buying drugs for him? I'm like, where's all this that's been out in the media for years already? Maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Where's all this testimony gone? Why isn't he charged with that? You even made the point some months ago that you never seen a RICO charge with one person as a defendant, and that was it. Like, this is crazy. So part and parcel for me, I believe that it's all part of the show to expose it, because Diddy ain't safe. Whether he would have stayed in prison or jail, wherever he's at, or got out on bail or whatever, he's not safe. He's already told enough. There's cameras everywhere nowadays. Everybody knows what he was really doing, and so on and so forth. But can you prove it? That's another story. The defense dropped the case. I'm gonna leave it at that. Tad?
Yeah, I agree with so much of what you said, Brother Black. It's kind of hard to add on to that. What I would say though was that I wish society would take a deeper look and stop accepting things from surface level. I think people lack the critical thinking skills that's necessary to live in this new world. Like we said, before there was even a raise, Sister Keisha laid out the functions of U.S. government agencies. So when his crib got rushed, it was Department of Homeland Security. It wasn't the FBI. It wasn't the CIA. It wasn't ATF task force. None of that. Department of Homeland Security. But then we got to remember the media being a propaganda arm of this monster we dealing with. Whether you want to call it Illuminati, United Snakes, whatever you want to call it. We were fed so much misinformation, but we can't forget that they created the climate around the downfall of Diddy prior to them rushing his crib. When Keefe D got jammed up, the first thing they did was put it on Diddy. But who put it on Diddy? Who put it out there? Remember, TMZ got a whole documentary out before there's even a verdict. The downfall of Diddy. This is what they do. TMZ's supposed to be a reputable news source, but we know they full of shit. Like, who even follows TMZ? That's why. And I saw it when they came at Kanye. When Kanye said after 400 years, slavery is a choice, the topic was not slavery. And I think people miss that. He said, don't be a slave to your thinking, which most people are. They say Diddy's guilty. We all said Diddy was guilty. But people such as us on this bridge, we have critical thinking skills. Sister Keisha was taught under one of the most profound attorneys that the Black community's ever produced. You know, attorney Alton Maddox, peace be upon him. You know, I had the misfortune of having to go through the system, but I spent my time in the law library, learning the letter of the law, how to get out this system. And when you study law books, you start to realize you get away with anything. You can get away with anything. There's a loophole in all of this stuff. But I say that, right, Brother Black? Because what they do is try to taint the potential jury pool. So we were told that Diddy was going down for unaliving the Tupac and Biggie. And then there was other allegations. Then they put his children in there. Then they said Barack Obama and Oprah Winfrey is on the tapes. Then it's like Ellen DeGeneres and all these other people. Maybe so. Where it's at, it ain't there. Can't do nothing about it. It's not what you think, it's what you can prove. But so many people, right, Sister Keisha, they got their panties in a bunch because Diddy was acquitted of these charges, which we knew was crazy off the rip. We knew it was crazy. First of all, when Department of Homeland Security ran it up in there, we talked about they function prior to that. They shouldn't even be the agency trying to raid his crib. But then they did all these exposés showing the tunnels that lead to all of these other mansions in his California home. But they negate that all these houses lead to what's the name? Hugh Hefner crib. So, but they would sell it as if Diddy dug these tunnels himself. But they never come at Hugh Hefner for being the trafficker that he really was. I mean, he built the whole empire off of trafficking little snow bunnies all around the globe and the little hot tubs and all this foolishness. I just say, I'm gonna wrap it up. I just say that I want our people to think more critically. Many of us don't know none of these celebrities personally. But for some reason, we got personal interest. We so personally vested as if Diddy touched our daughter or our sister or our mothers. And we hate them with so much venom. It's unbelievable, but we don't realize when the media is manipulating us, because the things that are getting swept under the rug is the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, who did have children, homeboy from Nickelodeon, who did touch children. We're silent on that, but we want to condemn somebody that was freaky with consenting adults. Where are our priorities? You know what I mean? If the children are our priorities, what are we really talking about? And let's not forget that Diddy exposed Delagio for having racist practices, and they in trouble now for selling people fake alcohol and all kinds of things. But these are some of the things Diddy was trying to expose. But anytime you try to expose them, they vilify you, make you the bad guy. Same thing with Ye, whether he's a clone or not. Ye says some things that wasn't popular, but as Black folks, we know these things to be true. Who's controlling our culture? Who's profiting off of our pain? Who's putting these self-destructive messages out there, and who benefits from it? You gotta stop listening to mass media because they're manipulating us and we don't see it. And I'm off my soapbox with that. Damn them all.
Let's get our Sister Marcia, Africans on the Rise very own. Sister Marcia, what's happening?
Hey, sis.
Happy Blacktastic Thursday, people. How's everybody feeling today on this glorious day?
Gucci.
It's hot.
Hold up, are we still boycotting? I don't know.
It's crazy.
Say that again.
Are we still boycotting Gucci? Because I know a few years ago when they had.
You could just say the word. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Neither does their clothes mean anything. It's just the value that you put on it.
The Gucci shirt. Could you buy me one, Sister Marcia?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Do it for America.
Nah. You know, I'll get you an Actively Black. Homegrown.
Hey, Sister Marcia.
From the seed to the this. Yes, sir.
your forehead is shining like a mug. That means your pineal gland is on smash right now. I'm not joking.
Well, what about the top of your head? Like your dome ain't shining. Don't.
You said it like this. I'm saying it like a compliment. I'm telling you.
I'm giving you a compliment too, in my own style.
Black starting this stuff early, sis. I'm glad you picked up on it. Why couldn't you say, yo, your third eye is illuminating this evening, sister? It's looking.
You ain't even go. You keep your Yankee hat on. Keep your Yankee hat on.
Hold on. I'm only gonna do this for Black, right? Because I still got my hair. I'm proud of that.
I'm gonna get the alopecia out after you, bro. You keep it up. Hey, why Sister Keisha keep going out?
Kick your ass. And Jada, kick your ass.
You know it's the fourth. Things are happening.
Sister Keisha's off again. Here she comes.
Yeah, I'm losing power every now and again. Well, not power, but service. There's a storm of brewing over here, so we'll see. But don't worry, I'll snap right back in. That's so, speaking of Diddy, remember that interview he gave about racism in the industry, right? Let's play it and we'll come right back. Here we go.
I don't care if you understand it, you don't understand it. I'm a warrior. I've been in head to head with these folks in corporate America. You know what I'm saying? Like when they ask the question, is there systemic racism? And nobody answers the question. I'm like, yo, no, hold on. This systemic racism, they trying to keep their foot on the neck up to my level, up to Jay-Z's level, up to LeBron's level. It's an illusion of inclusion by just a couple of us. So I could sit back here in the crib, but I'm not with it. I'm from that same block. I'm a frontliner. I'm with the smoke at any time, no matter where my address is at. We're in a war. This shit is not a fucking game. Everybody needs to wake up. I'm ringing the alarm. I'm having to start right now to organize and to come together, and so we can build our political army unapologetically for the things that matter to us.
Do you believe there's a way to vote and support like your personal interests and the interests of your people as a whole?
Yeah. See, when you at our Black Party, we love free thinking, free-minded people and individuals. That's all we want in life, is to be able to be free and to be able to think as free as we want. But you have a responsibility to your people to ride on what they riding with for the betterment of the good of the whole overall tribe. We are a people that have been abused the most. And we got to start biting their legs off.
That's right.
You know, when they put their foot on our neck, we got to start biting that shit off. When they shooting us in the back, we got to start defending ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing going to stop unless you stop it. It's Black insanity. We have to get off of this. We have to wake up and see what's going on. The world is watching.
Because it's such an easy conversation to have.
The Diddy they don't want you to hear.
So, with that commentary from Diddy, now, you know, in light of this new political move by Black Americans, we're doing just that. And the great part about it is we are not wasting shoe leather to do it. There is an awakening happening and everybody's getting on code. So much so that, you know, now in certain spaces that I'm hearing, you know, they are talking about forming their own political party because that is the only route. And, you know, people often say, well, the masses would not follow such a thing. Really? In this climate where they are begging Black Americans to get on board in these fights, the climate is perfect. It is perfect. Everything is in alignment. So I just wanted to bring up that point. But let's be clear that we as Black people have to be extremely careful in how we move in this world. We have to be extremely careful because, excuse me, no matter what you do, no matter how much financing you have, no matter how much popularity you may attain, no matter how good you may be, this system never lets up. And I've said on this platform many times, many times, the goal is to destroy Black manhood and Black womanhood. And if you don't have an antidote, we will continue to suffer, and generations yet unborn will continue to suffer. So there has to be an antidote to politics because, nothing has changed as far as how cases are tried, how sentencing is given to people of darker hues. Nothing has changed. And we're going to get into birthright citizenship and discuss its key case. But I want you all to understand that right now there is a push, if you will, to change the Constitution, if you will, because all of these folks, and if you've been listening to the case, if you've read SCOTUS's decisions and opinions, you would understand that that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. They are not going to put y'all before themselves. You shouldn't expect nobody to put themselves before you. You know what I mean? So we got to wake up to that fact.
Sister Keisha, before you move further,
good,
because you made a point about Black folks forming their own political party. And I think this is flying under the radar. But I want you to talk about the prominent Democrats that are actually leaving the Democratic Party. Because we know we got Eric Adams. What's the Haitian sister name?
You talking about press secretary?
Yes.
Baptiste, Jean-Baptiste.
I believe her. Who else is there? Because there are a few people, but I don't see many people talking about these prominent Democrats that's saying, I'm leaving the Democrat Party. And I think this is very important because these are the people that influence the masses to vote Democrat or join the Democrat Party. But when you got the influencers saying, you know what, we've been doing this too long and it's not working, and we're moving in the wrong direction as a party, I think it's important that we point that out. Thank you, Sister Farnessa. Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Yes. Former press secretary.
The one who said Biden was totally competent. He was still had his mental faculties, and all of these lies that we were just being sold, and we were told, don't believe our eyes, believe their lies. Even though we see him shaking hands with people that aren't there. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the president. He's great. They brought out Jimmy Carter saying he's voting for Biden, and it looked like Weekend at Bernie's. Because I'm like, who? Not to get riled up, but I'm like, the insult. What Diddy said? People like free thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the masses like free thinkers, but the powers that be don't want free thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
What we need more people to question everything that's put before us. Question it critically. Why do people say things like this? Who are these people that's saying don't follow Trump and vote for Bush and believe all women and no, you don't believe nobody. Don't question everything that's put in front of you, because they're out to deceive us all. You get the wrong information, you're going to make the wrong choice. And the one power is the one who's giving you this misinformation. So when you talked about leaving the party, as you play the clip for for Puff, you know. And again, I'm not saying Puff is no saint, because I'll be having this argument and debate with people. I'm like, I'm not saying he's a saint, but don't lie on people. You lose your integrity when you lie. Not only do you lose integrity, you lose your case when you lie. We were told this man was trafficking children. The first witness they had was supposed to be from Rochester, New York, who was 14 years old, who went down to the VMA Awards, then went to Puffy House, and Jay-Z was there, and all these people. And her father came and got her and drove her 5 hours back and didn't ask her not once what happened or how did you get down here to New York City. And nobody thought that was suspicious. God knows if Kayla, and Kayla's about to be 18 next week. Shout out to my baby girl. Getting big so fast. But if Kayla's 14 years old and she's 5 hours away from somewhere, talk about daddy come pick me up from a gas station. First of all, what the hell you doing here? How did you get here? Who brought you here? What were you doing here? We ain't having no conversation. And people really ate that up. People really just accepted it for what this person said. I'm like, how gullible can people be, sis? But I just had to put that out there because now is the time. We have to seize the time with this political movement. That's more necessary now than any other point in our history of being here. But
definitely. I wanted to, any thoughts, Sister Marcia, before I go to the next video?
So many things are changing. Everything is moving. Agreed, we need to put our heads together and figure out what our next 24 months look like, you know, because there's a lot of things brewing. Like Brother Tad was saying, people are craving new ideas, and Diddy said people are craving free thinkers, and what does free thinking truly means, because there are bottom lines to everything. We can't have a Messiah complex and we can't have a Robin Hood complex. Both these complexes are running hand in hand right about now. And we need to really be critical about the moves that we are making next and what the goal is. So in forming this organization, it would be, what is our primary goal as an organization? Because if we don't have a goal, we're going to keep running into all the mockery that we've been running in for the 40 years that I've lived here. Let's not say anybody else who's listening right now for those years that they live in mockery. So we just got to really buckle down, figure it out, and come up with plans and solutions, because like I always say, our children are depending on us. Our children.
Donate to FDMG.
Say that again? Oh, shut up. No, don't say it again. I heard the echo came.
He's going to save our children.
Listen, you see, you had to bounce out because of you and FDMG.
Shout out to the pimp of Pan-Africanism.
Oh Lord! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Sorry about that, y'all. Just bear with me.
I am true about what I'm saying. Other people are collecting cash over it.
He's true about them donations too.
That's what I said. Collecting cash.
Hey, Brother Tad, get his name right. It's King Kong Consciousness.
Dr. Sukiyaki.
Did you see the meme that they did, the baby meme that they did with donations? Random donations. That was cute. But anyway.
The baby AIs is killing the game right now.
Absolutely.
They're coming for everybody.
Don't mess up out here.
Yes, Sister Farnessa, it did.
With no locks on the doors?
Nope.
Okay.
No video camera, no police report, no police there talking about what's going on. Listen, my house got robbed when I was a little person. I saw everything. The police came, they wrote down a report, what was taken, what was missing, what was vandalized.
You can't go to the enemy. Police is the enemy. You can't go to them. What's wrong with you?
You see what they did to Diddy? You see what they did to Diddy?
Yo, Marcia, check it out. He got cameras and no electricity at the school. How that works?
The lies, the lies.
Hey, brother Tag, are you saying he was with the Free the Locks campaign?
I don't know, and not the LOX neither. Oh man.
Chickens in the lots. Hold on.
What, the ones in my hair?
The Diddy case is finally over, but did the diddler strike again? First, let's go over the charges, and there's 5 counts, and 2 of those he's actually guilty of, and both of those are transportation to engage in prostitution. And this is a sketch of him in the courtroom after he got the news where he's acquitted of all the trafficking charges. But he did get denied bail. Now, the hearing is not until October 3rd, which adds more time to his jail time. As a first offender, if he gets a couple years, he'll be out in no time. So the question is, how did all this happen? I may have some answers. Now, the lead prosecutor was Maureen Comey, and it said that she dropped the ball on this whole thing, or did she? Because let's not forget, she was not only the lead prosecutor in Ghislaine Maxwell's case, but also Jeffrey Epstein's case. Remember that part I said Diddy's list is Epstein's list? That's looking more like a reality now, because she could have easily thrown this case to protect that list. I mean, you have 2 billionaires, both from New York, running around the same circles, and they don't know each other at all. Got it. And the fact that they played these freak-off tapes in the trial with other celebrities involved without any names sounds eerily similar to Jeffrey Epstein's list, because we still don't have any names. And another fun fact, Maureen graduates from Harvard, the same school, at the same time Jeffrey Epstein was there from 2010, from 2018, donating $9 million to the school, and even had a private office. Very interesting. And let's not forget this part too. Her dad, James Comey, was the former director of the FBI before he got fired by Donald Trump. And you guys remember those very strange emails by Hillary Clinton some years back? Yeah, he was ahead of that investigation too, and nothing came out of that. Now, reports say he's been seen with Bibles, holding prayer groups, so my guess is he's gonna start a church or become a pastor or assimilate into somebody else's church, maybe a TD Jakes. So what do you guys think? Is Diddy's list Epstein's list, and how much time is he gonna get? Let me know below.
Shout out to Maverick Approach. Y'all can follow him on Instagram. He has great content. Your thoughts, Brother Black, on Maverick Approach's commentary or analysis?
I pretty much echoed what I said, or vice versa. I mean, it's obvious to anybody who has a half a brain that that case wasn't handled well. Probably paid everybody off. There was other evidence where supposedly, allegedly, they said they found the phone in his cell. And he was calling people to taint witness testimony. I mean, there's all kind of stuff out there. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Because, you know, in the age of AI now, there's so many false stories out there.
Yes.
We can't just be running with everything we hear.
Facts.
I know you always get at me for saying those words. Now I got to really use them because of the different day and age we're in right now. So, but like I said earlier, he's not safe anyway. I mean, and if he do get hit, it ain't going to be by dudes from 125th Street or downtown Brooklyn. It's going to be from the big boys that, you know he already said too much and he's a liability to be out here. Especially if he was really real, because he looked real when he was talking about starting a political party and stuff like that. So for all we know, that could have been MLK's speech when he went from being a Rothschild agent to, really spitting the real. You heard? So with that, I hear.
Go ahead, Sister Marcia. Go ahead.
No, so I could see him turning himself into a prophet and people just flocking to his establishment for the prophecy, seeing that he, escaped the man's plan. But again, that's fallen into that Messiah complex that we cannot do as a group of people. But I do wish him the best. What this brother is saying, how he outlined everything, there are bigger names than Diddy that are being covered up, AI or not. And this is why it's happening the way it's happening. But come October, he can't get out. He might be found hung, like, oh, he couldn't take it no more. You know what I mean? But
right, that's the feeling Aunt Marie has. She said, my question is, will he make it to October? Just like Epstein. Could that be why he was denied bail? But
remember, they always trying to break us. Let's continue the conversation. Yeah. They are always trying to take us down in any which way.
Remember,
and we know Epstein ain't dead. We already know. We all know that. That story was the biggest. That was a bigger lie than 9/11.
Allegedly. But anyway, yeah, you can wave your arm, but you gotta be able to say that. Anyway, remember when T.K. Kirkland said that the feds tried to get him to turn state's evidence against Diddy? Let's hear this clip from Club Shay Shay, and we'll come right back.
Rob Tuffy. And
really, TK?
Yeah, Doug, I'll tell you, I was crazy. And this is how I could share with the world on how bad they always wanted Puffy. See, even in 1998, New York didn't like him.
Really?
Oh man.
But he OG. I mean, Puffy, he born and raised there.
Let me tell you, I'm about to rock your world. Puffy catch Shine and Jennifer Lopez.
Yep. Firearm charge.
The same people that wanted to lock Puffy up comes to Rikers to want me to testify against Puffy Combs and lie and say I saw him with the gun. So they said, my attorney's like, TK, you want to help out the prosecution? Me being smart, I said, tell them to get me out of here. We could talk about it. So they don't take me out of jail, but they take me from Rikers, bring me back down to the Tombs.
Okay.
They come down, and the COs know me, and they see the FBI and everything. They're like, yo, wow, all these people here. I got the FBI jackets on. Shit look crazy.
Yeah.
So they take me downstairs. I'm in the sedan, and we zooming through Manhattan to go to the club that Puffy had the shooting. So they wanted you. They didn't tell you what to say. They wanted you to read between the lines. Jennifer Lopez was here. Sean was here. Puffy was here, and you were right here. Like I'm putting.
Yeah, I was right there.
I was right there. Exactly what the fuck I was saying. I'm right the fuck here. But during the time I'm ordering food, they paying for it. I'm getting lasagna. I'm getting the 3 days. I'm eating the best.
Listen, y'all want me to set up my friend? Pay me well.
Sorry.
Pay me well.
She's back.
They give people a cheeseburger for the vaccine. Why not?
There you go.
Thank you, Brother Tad. Absolutely.
Blasio said you want a juicy cheeseburger like this?
With some French fries? Look at French fries. Yeah.
And don't forget the shake. It was Shake Shack. Don't forget the shake.
With the jab.
Oh Lord, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Was that the end of the clip? I love
pretty much.
TK Kirkland. You know,
he just went in to say, how he, got everything that he wanted, made them take him back. You know, without saying nothing.
I think more of us need to be responsible to our community like that, right?
Right.
We are considering that, hey, this moment might be this yada, 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 but as long as I'm not taking down someone. When you're taking down another person, that's a whole different type of conversation. But the brother stayed comrade to comrade, whether or not they are comrades. I appreciated that.
I want y'all to be very conscious of your surroundings as you move throughout, because, if you haven't been paying attention, these attempted kidnappings are on the rise.
Yes.
34 kids got kidnapped in Philly a few days ago.
They just showed us New York City.
DC.
Very, very careful about how y'all move out here. And I apologize again because I keep losing connections. But there was an attempted kidnapping of a young lady on a New York City subway platform. And kudos to the brothers who put hands and feet where they needed to be. Let's play the clip and we'll come right back and discuss. Here we go.
Oh shit.
Favorite 3 words. Sis.
Right. Get that, nigga. Somebody try to tell you something, chill the fuck out. Now you got it.
My favorite words. Fuck them up. Fuck them up. I can't hear you, sis.
Your
Loving,
music.
loving, feds and all. He got hands and feet put on that tail.
I thought they was gonna put some overboard.
That's New York's what's the brother? Was it last year who came with the chair talking about y'all not beating up on my peoples?
That's 2 years ago.
Whenever that was, brother. All I said that's New York's.
What is it?
Got something to claim.
Is it August 5th?
Was it
There you
August?
go.
Yeah, I think it was August 5th. Come on, that's a holiday, Sister Marcia.
Well, listen, a holiday is coming. Their holiday is coming right now, so I'm just remembering things like that.
I'm glad you played that, Sister Keisha, because it is important. Yo, I was on the train the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why me. Do I look soft or something? But people be playing with me, Sister Keisha. This bum-ass dude was drinking a beer, and he just looked at me and said, I never saw a sexy gangster before. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, all the muscles don't mean nothing. And I was like, oh my God. I said, God, why me? Why do these people with mental health issues keep playing with me? Sister Keisha, I wanted to put the hands on him, but I don't win. I don't win. He was a bum. He had a tall can of beer. He was dusty, but he kept staring at me. We having a staring contest. That's when he started talking that foolishness. I'm like, here we go.
Hey, Brother Tab, be careful with stuff like that because that's where a lot of gang stalk people have. That's like a gang stalking tactic to
That's
get
all
you
right.
out of character.
Listen,
I'm not saying you afraid, but things like that happen to me all the time. And that's why I'm
Black. I am skilled.
Go for it.
Not being afraid. I am skilled. This is nothing. This is nothing. It's nothing to me. Actually, I get pleasure out of it. And now that's the trick. I get like all the smoke. Look, when you get jumped, you can hit everybody. You can hit everybody. Ain't no he's cool, he's not. The first thing, nobody touch me. So everybody within arm's length is getting put hands and feet on them. I don't fear weapons. I don't. And see, real quick, this is our problem. Not you, Black, but as a community, we are too fearful of shit. That's why I'm glad them brothers put hands and feet on them. Because there would have been a time where people would have been like, oh, let me leave that alone. Because people be running around acting like goddamn cowards. And this is why these lunatics are nuts. Because let me tell you, when you get locked up, ain't nobody crazy in jail. Them dudes who be outside, they go to the pen, they just be in the corner quiet. They don't want no problems with nobody because they're not the only crazy person. And I'm saying that we, as a community, have to be more vigilant. My daughter called me one day crying. My baby Kamaria called me because some dude was harassing her on the bus. Some other brother stepped in to help her out. She was like, she got off the bus and she didn't want to. I said, baby, where was your mace? She said, I had it with me, but it's too many people on the bus. I ain't want to choke everybody. So she got off. I just called her Uber and sent her home. And I'm thankful for the brother who stepped in and intervened because we got a lot of lunatics out here and they need what homie on that platform got. Me, I'm the man to do it. I ain't got no problems with doing the 1-2. I don't go to the gym just to say I went to the gym. I go to the gym to defend my family and my community. And this is why I always encourage brothers. Though we just came out of Men's Mental Health Month, I encourage brothers, man up. Stop being suckers and cowards. Now, granted, don't jump into everybody foolishness, because but you should have a level of discernment of when to engage and when not to. And that's why I didn't engage the lunatic on the train, because he really wasn't crazy. I think, you know what I'm saying? Sister Keisha, I was telling Dog, he know my temper. I wanted to fight so bad, but Sister Keisha, I lose. I put these hands on him. He gonna be laid out bleeding because he about this big. He already tipsy. He had his tall can of bum juice. Like, what do I win? Except
and that's why I said it like that, because I know we already know you like that. We know, all four of us, or excuse me, all three of us know that you're like that. And I don't want you to, like, you might have a bad day, and the next thing you know, the beats is coming with the headphones. So I don't want you to be
Oh, we lost you, Black.
that type of stuff happens to me all the time, where you lose it, and next thing you know, you might catch a manslaughter. You already know what that means. You know what I'm saying? You put the 2 3s on him, and he's out of there.
You hit it on the head, because a lot of these dudes old and washed up now. These are dudes who used to be tough in the 90s and think they still got it. Like my dude, and you hit it on
now
that.
there's video cameras everywhere, so you'll see, and you'll be on your self-defense, because it'd be like, yo, this person came at me and this is what I had to do.
And that's don't get so much for cutting you off now.
Yeah, nah, it's all good, but I'm glad
even Mitch Green is a preacher now,
because I think about my daughters, and I am the way I am because I want men to protect my family when I'm not around. And that's how we're supposed to be. When I was in Africa, right, it's little children, 5 and 6 years old, pitch black, walking the roads. Nobody's worried. Nobody's like, who you out here with? Because the children belong to the village. And Sister Keisha, I'm quite sure you're going to test that when that was once our community, where you could send out your child anywhere and not really worry about the deviants and the knuckleheads, because somebody's going to step up and speak up for our people. But we've turned a blind eye, and this is what the society wants. They have implanted the seed of individualism amongst us, to where we only out for us, we only think about us, and we got to get back to looking out for one another.
For community.
Yeah, that video
is lost.
That video made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
Sometimes our presence alone can stop certain things from popping off. Word. Nah, that's a fact right there. That is a fact.
Like, this is gonna be sis story all night, bro.
So let's keep the conversation rolling. There's other things.
She's back. She's back. Let her get it. Let her get it back.
Yeah, I'll be back in like less than 60 seconds. I've already sent a report to StreamYard.
But sis, you know what it's about. This is the same thing they did to us at Blog Talk. When we start getting hot, they just start cutting, just start dropping the mic, like shut their mics off now.
Oh yeah, cause I got all my presentations up too, and we're gonna drop some legal facts and all that too.
That's good.
But speaking of protecting the community,
absolutely.
There is resurgence or reemergence of wanted for Assata Shakur, aka Joanne Chesimard, for the alleged it bothers me to even talk about this. Those of you who don't know the story, you should. The way she was attacked, beaten, put in male quarters while she was locked up, and this officer lost his life. They trying to pin his unaliving on her, but when ballistics show there was no firearm or whatever coming from her direction, and it's very, very easy. Yes, Tag got the book right there. Yes, he got the book right there. For you guys, if you want to go online and get it, I think you should. But let's hear this latest clarion call to capture her, and shout out to the nation of Cuba who has kept her safe all these years. But this sister definitely needs to be able to come home. And while people are talking about hands off illegal migrants, who are beating the hell out of law enforcement officers on the street.
Say
Around
it,
the country.
say it, sister.
Nobody is calling for hands off Assata Shakur. And that's why
Yeah.
people are leaving these loser parties. And I always say this, some of y'all need your head examined for voting in these two parties for as long as you have. But I'm gonna play this clip and we'll come right back and we'll discuss. Hold on.
Today to unveil the 2025 New Jersey State Police Most Wanted list. Our number one fugitive, Joanne Chesimard, of which there remains.
Oh, sugar.
Well, let's just keep it rolling because
I knew that was going to happen.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that mother, she is my queen mother.
I'm going to say this real quick though. If y'all ever get the chance, Common's album, like Water for Chocolate, please listen to the song him and CeeLo Green has called A Song for Assata.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's a great song. That's an awesome song.
Yes, it is. That's why I'm encouraging people to go listen. Common, the rapper Common has a song called A Song for Assata. It's tearjerk. It pretty much captures the book. It literally does.
She's a convicted murderer, wanted for the murder of Warner Forster 52 years ago.
John Chesimard is the government name for Assata Shakur, a 77-year-old Black Liberation Army member. The U.S. government has been trying to rearrest her for allegedly killing New Jersey State Trooper Warner Forster in 1973. In 2013, the administration of the first Black president doubled the bounty to $2 million. The 1973 incident also killed Zaid Malik Shakur and captured Sundiata Akoli, who spent 49 years in prison before being released in 2022. Shakur's comrades had freed her from Clinton Correctional Facility in 1979. A few years later, she re-emerged in Cuba, where Fidel Castro granted her political asylum. Speaking at a television event in 2005, Castro said U.S. officials wanted to portray her as a terrorist, something that was an injustice, a brutality, an infamous lie. Shakur has since become a Cuban citizen, earned a postgraduate degree from the University of Havana, and as the godmother of the slain rap artist Tupac Shakur, she advocated for hip-hop's revolutionary message for oppressed people. 2 months after her arrest, Assata wrote a letter from prison called To My People. Here's a part of it.
Black brothers, Black sisters, I want you to know that I love you, and I hope that somewhere in your hearts you have love for me. I want to apologize to you for being on the New Jersey Turnpike. I should have known better. The Turnpike is a checkpoint where Black people are stopped, searched, harassed, and assaulted. Revolutionaries must never be in too much of a hurry or make careless decisions. He who runs when the sun is sleeping will stumble many times. I am a Black revolutionary, and as such, I am a victim of all the wrath, hatred, and slander that America is capable of. The rulers of this country and their flunkies have committed some of the most brutal, vicious crimes in history. These maniacs are not fit to judge me or any other Black person on trial in America. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Shout out to Africa Stream too. They too are under a federal government investigation and scrutiny for the conscious information that they post. And a lot of people, don't know this, but that was one of the fears of Ultimatics as far as I was concerned, because I was on fire and I was ready to take us to a place we was ready for. And but he had a fear that he wouldn't be able to protect me legally. So that was one of the reasons that people don't know that, I had to step down because legal representation is crucial in any movement. And, all of these political parties and pundits are coming at folks, and you have business that are coming after. And as Brother Black mentioned, AI is in the mix.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm glad she
Doing
said
all
that.
these crazy things, mixing words, and those pictures look so real. You be like, wait, this sounds good. So gotta be very mindful of this AI business.
Yeah, shout out to Dr. Fillet. She said her message that she wrote specifically for MWM was read in both English and Spanish. Yes, at the Million Woman March, there was a letter that was sent and read to everybody, all the sisters who were there. But yes, so you know, there were a lot of things that I can attain for us immediately. The problem is the legal representation. And when you look at grassroots organizations that we know of, none of them have legal representation. But they want you to put your body on the line or your intelligence on the line, which is problematic. That's why UAM was safe, because we were sued. You know, we were attacked, but we had sufficient legal representation. And all of these other groups do not. And they are going nowhere fast. They just around 20, 30, 40, 50 years spewing the same old rhetoric because they can't go anywhere. And that's just a fact. But your thoughts, Brother Tad, on this new clarion call to capture our sister Assata Shakur?
I mean, I'm not sure how new it is. She's always been one of the FBI's most wanted. In fact, probably one of the most wanted females in U.S. history. And it's just a reminder, you know, sure enough, as we see them snatching up Puff, sure enough, as we seen them do the same thing to Bill Cosby and so many others, you know, it's just real important right now that we really start peeling back the layers. I'm glad Brother Blacksmith brought up the AI as we talked about the Laurel and Yanny experiment here a few weeks back, you know, how they have technology that can make you hear different things. So now we really have to question, what is our reality, especially based on the information we have. Because like you said, a lot of these organizations been around for 30, 40 years and haven't moved one iota. They're still stuck, same rhetoric, same leadership, same everything. Meanwhile, the world is going so much faster. I seen a presentation by Dr. Amos Wilson years ago. I think we played this here on the platform before, some years back. And he talked about organizing and updating information. He said, look at the gay community. How did they get into position of power? Which is a legitimate question. How? How did they get in a position of power? How? Because they organized and they stayed on code, on their code. Us, for some reason, we watch our leadership constantly catfight. Sure enough, as you and Sister Brooke, shout out to her in the chat, sure enough, as y'all show up at these reparation hearings, you got these old school dudes on the platform who's not on code, who's dealing with rhetoric, who's trying to get organizations
who's on his old code.
Right, old code. And
he has not accepted Generation X. He's Generation Boomer. We fought on his cane and his wheelchair. We brother.
I just think
now we are.
I'll pass the mic, Sister Marcia, because I just want to say this real quick. Sure enough, as everybody advocating and clapping that Trump is releasing a lot of prisoners, what are we doing about the political prisoners? What about Mumia? You know what I'm saying? What about the pardon for Assata? When we got evidence that, you know, she didn't do all of these things she's accused of. And that's why I bring it back to Diddy. We keep telling people, you can lie to me, don't lie on me. Assata was lied on. Mumia was lied on. Geronimo Pratt, peace be upon him, he was lied on. So many of our political prisoners are lied on, but they're lied on because we as a community don't stand with our freedom fighters. We accept the lies that's being told to us by our open enemy, whether it's real or perceived. These people don't care about us. So for them to put Assata back out there, it's nothing new. It's nothing new.
You don't hear a mumbling word from these alleged grassroots organizations.
No.
Like, where's December 12th? They have 2 attorneys that are a part of their group. Roger Warham and what's the other fat dude? I forget. But anyway, him too. Nothing. Because it's gonna stop their bread. You don't hear nothing from none of these groups. So, and I had a conversation with one of the boomers, I think yesterday or the day before, to just try to get him up to speed on a lot of things. And, you all caused this problem because you wouldn't step aside. You wouldn't.
And you still don't. You still like, nah, y'all not ready for this. Y'all not ready. I don't know. But Assata Shakur, for me, she is the same age as my mother right now. And for me to denounce all, you know how she chose freedom? She had a child while incarcerated. That is choosing freedom. We don't talk about these things and
Don't worry, sis. Don't worry, my pops.
I had to cut the mic. People were walking through my house.
Sister Marcia, real quick, I'm laughing because sure enough, as we talk about the boomers, my pop be doing the same thing. He'll start talking, Daddy, I'm doing the show, and he'll start a conversation. Like, dude, I just said like, my dude, that wasn't your invitation.
And they just keep going, and you're just like, okay, and you're mid-sentence, like saying a good point. But any which way, all I'm saying is that anyone who is 52 and under, this could be your mama. This could be your mama. Let's consider that as we talk about what does freedom look like for people, and for her to choose to have you. Like the conversation we had last week about the choices that we make when we're younger, for her to have that choice, and whether it was a choice or not a choice, whatever it was, she had a child, and by all accounts, they know each other. They're living with, they this, that, and the third. Imagine knowing your mama was a revolutionary to this point. And how do you give back? How do you contribute into your mama and her sacrifice for the nation? Not only for you, but for a nation of people. Do we respect that, or do we denounce it? Like, and that's our biggest plight right now as a people. We're denouncing so many struggles that our quote unquote parent may have done for us.
I feel you, sis. I feel you.
Sister Keisha, before you go, and I love what Sister Marcia said, I want to ask you a question, but I got 2 things to say real quick. Because one thing I always ask our folks, what does freedom look like? Because if we're fighting for freedom, we got to identify it as the same. A lot of we haven't identified it yet.
That's what we said last week with Pan-Africanism. There was no identification, but go ahead.
And the second part, real quick, now that we're talking about Trump, did you see where the vice mayor in LA told the Mexican gangs, you saw that, to attack the ICE agent?
In that town, and some
yes.
It's like, well, where y'all at? Y'all so gangster? Where y'all at?
Street gang. Where's the? I said, yo, these people are crazy. I just had to put that on the table.
And she still has a job. Let one of us.
What position did this person hold?
They said she's the vice mayor, a Mexican, a Latino woman. I don't know if she's
Mexican. She can be arrested on federal charges for.
They're coming for
inciting a riot. Yeah, that's incitement of rioting. That's not no small charge. That
Trump got away with it.
That's
January
right.
6th.
That's right. That's right. So definitely that. And he's already said they looking at her along with Mondani. We're gonna get into that food next week. Because business tycoons are not going to let that happen. And then you have a government wing that is criminal. And we'll get into all of that next week as well. But staying on topic, because there's a lot of murmurings about birthright citizenship. Some people know what it is, don't know what it is, don't even know, how the case came about, and none of that. Just spewing rhetoric without reading documentation and having an understanding of that documentation. So we got some time today, and we're going to go through this really, really quick. The Supreme Court's 2025 decision in Trump v. Casa Inc. That is the landmark case that all of this conversation around birthright citizenship is about. Okay, you can read about the particulars of that case on your own time. I'm just going to go through some things here. Okay, in 2025, the United States Supreme Court ruled on a major case involving birthright citizenship in Trump v. Casa Inc. This case focused on the legality of an executive order issued by former President Donald Trump. The order aimed to restrict birthright citizenship for children born in the U.S. to undocumented immigrants or those with only temporary legal status. What the executive order tried to do, President Trump's executive order attempted to deny automatic citizenship as guaranteed by the 14th Amendment to children born on U.S. soil if their parents were not U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents. The goal was to challenge the long-standing interpretation that anyone born in the United States is automatically a citizen regardless of their parents' immigration status. And the reason why I put this photograph of, alleged ancestors who were enslaved is because the 14th Amendment was specifically designed for us, not the particulars of this case. And you can read it on your own time. The Supreme Court's decision in a 6-3 decision, the court did not directly overturn birthright citizenship. Instead, it ruled on a technical but important legal issue, whether lower federal courts have the authority to block a law or policy across the entire country, a practice known as issuing a nationwide injunction. The court, with Justice Amy Coney Barrett writing the majority of the decided that lower court, had overreached by issuing nationwide injunctions in this case. As a result, the court limited the power of federal judges to stop policies from being enforced outside of their jurisdiction. What this means for birthright citizenship: the ruling does not eliminate constitutional right to birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment. That means us. However, it opens the door for different interpretations and enforcement in different parts of the country, like these sanctuary cities that are breaking federal law. And all of you who voted in the Democratic Party, I said it before, you are co-conspirators, and you better hope that one day your voting polls are not pulled, because you too broke the law in voting for that. Whether you knew or didn't know, innocence of the law is no bearing in the courtroom, right? So, continued. In states where no injunction was issued, the Trump-era executive order could now be partially enforced, leading to unequal application of citizenship rules depending on where a child is born. The bigger legal issue here, the central issue, wasn't just about citizenship. It was about how much power federal judges have to stop policies nationwide. The court ruled that judges should only apply injunctions to those areas where they have legal authority, rather than across all 50 states. This shifts how future lawsuits against presidential actions might be handled. Ongoing legal fights. Several states and immigrant advocacy groups already filed lawsuits against the executive order. With the Supreme Court's ruling, legal challenges can continue, but they must now be more localized. So they can't bring cases to the Supreme Court for illegal immigrants anymore. The lower courts have to deal with that. Each state or region will have to fight the order in their own courts, potentially creating a patchwork of legal outcomes across the country. Y'all better be careful in these sanctuary cities who the hell you're voting for. You better be very, very careful because let me read this first and then I'll tell you why. In summary, the Supreme Court did not overturn birthright citizenship. It allowed partial enforcement of Trump's order in areas without existing legal blocks. The main focus of the case was on limiting nationwide injunctions, not directly ruling on the 14th Amendment. The ruling creates uncertainty and variations in how birthright citizenship is applied across the states. It leaves the door open for future challenges and ongoing legal battles. The case marks a major moment.
Oh, sugar.
That was the longest she was on straight for a minute. She'll be right back.
Or maybe not. There we go.
Yeah, she right there. There she go.
Sorry about that. So now, say for example, we live in sanctuary cities, at least Tad, Marcia, and myself do. If I am beaten up, attacked, robbed, whatever, by one of these migrants, and the state of New York filed a lawsuit against the executive order put in place by the president of this nation, I now have legal standing to sue Governor Kathy Hochul, Mayor Eric Adams, the city, and the state. And some of you voters too. Y'all better be very, very careful because the way things are moving in this country, your polls can be pulled and your information could be leaked. Now, the reason why I wanted us to discuss this birthright citizenship is because people are trying to say that, Black Americans should be careful because y'all could be deported. Deported where? Let me tell you something. Of all of these groups, we are the only, except for American Indians, the only non-immigrant work group in this country. Everybody else is. Everybody.
Including Elon Musk.
Russian, Ukrainian, Italian, Irish, Jamaican, Trinidadian,
Haitian, Ugandan, everybody.
So don't come to us with that rhetoric until you read court documents and learn how to interpret those court documents. Now, we are coming up tomorrow, 4th of July. And I want us to walk away with a clear understanding that when we say that we fought and won our freedom, we mean just that. That the nation that you all reside in and so affectionately love and care for, we made it happen. Because U.S. militaries or the militaries of those times were getting their butts whooped. Left, right, and center. In fact, the British had more money. They had more men by far in the American Revolution. They were getting stomped. So they needed us. And they came a-calling. And I'm going to go through I got 4 points here. And then there's a treat in here for Brother Tad. I always implore you all to research your damn family's history because you never know. And what I'm going to discuss is all free Black people. All of these people were free. They weren't enslaved. I know there were enslaved folks who fought in the American Revolution, but tonight we're dealing with the free ones, okay? And one of those persons had the last name Cromwell. And so we're going to get to that in a second. Let's get to it, family. So, free Black Americans who fought in the American Revolution. Here's how and why they served. Free Black men served in state militias, the Continental Army, and naval forces. In many northern colonies like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, free blacks were allowed to enlist. Some free blacks enlisted from the beginning of the war in 1775, while others joined after the initial resistance to black enlistment was reversed out of military necessity. Why did they join the fight? To defend their homes and communities, to prove their loyalty and challenge white beliefs about black inferiority, to gain recognition, land, and money, or for full citizenship rights. Okay, we fought for it. Some hoped their participation would inspire a broader abolition of slavery. Now, here were some of the men who fought in the American Revolution. Peter Salem, free, joined Massachusetts militia, fought at Bunker Hill, considered a hero by some accounts. Salem Poor, another free black man, distinguished at Bunker Hill, praised by 14 officers for exceptional bravery. Oliver Cromwell, free, served in the New Jersey militia, awarded an honorary discharge signed by George Washington. Lemuel Haynes, free black man, Minuteman, and later chaplain. All my pastors out there, all my Christians out there, the first black man ordained as a minister in the United States. Cato Howe, free black man, served in the Continental Army, later became one of the black landowners in Massachusetts. So, their impact and legacy, despite their services, most free black veterans did not gain equal rights after the war. Some received land grants or pensions, but others were forgotten, impoverished, or denied compensation. Their efforts laid a foundation for a long.
Wow.
All right.
Right back.
Claim your inheritance, claim your legacy, right? You out here, Brother Tad, doing the same thing as your great uncle, great grandpappy.
We're gonna figure it out. Because
Yeah.
Oliver was my grandfather's middle name.
All right.
You never know. You
All right,
never know, Brother Tad.
So you gotta sit up there and claim that legacy.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm building my own legacy at the same time. But we've always
listen. It all foils down. You know, it's a string effect.
And he built the gym in Staten Island that I used to go to all the time. There you go.
Right. Then I had to revoke his membership.
Lord have mercy. But
just and they ain't call me Space Jam for nothing.
Let's get back to the topic at hand, Sister Keisha.
Yes.
Hey.
So
Keisha.
Yes. So anyway, their legacy was very, very important, and it should be remembered, and it should never be forgotten. As we move into the 4th of July, remember those black men who fought for our freedom and won this nation. Period. So we're going to play some clips real quick of these great men, and we'll come right back and discuss. Here we go.
The forgotten revolutionary. Have you ever heard of a man who fought for freedom, even when freedom was denied to him? I am Prince Hall, born in the 1700s, a leader, an abolitionist, and the founder of Black Freemasonry in America. I fought in the American Revolution, believing that if we could break free from Britain, surely black men could break free from slavery. But after the war, I saw that freedom was not meant for all, so I took action. I petitioned for the end of slavery, fought for black education, and led the first Black Masonic Lodge, giving my people a place to gather, learn, and fight for justice. When doors were shut, I built new ones. I never stopped pushing for equality. Now what will you stand for? The fight for justice never ends. Like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories at Black History Daily.
Free black communities, particularly in New York and Philadelphia, were crucial to the American Revolution. These communities provided significant support in various forms, including serving in the Continental Army, where black soldiers fought alongside their white counterparts. They also contributed vital intelligence and logistical support, helping to secure victories and advance the revolutionary cause. Despite their essential roles and sacrifices, the contributions of free black individuals and communities are frequently overshadowed by more prominent historical narratives. Their involvement exemplifies their dedication to the fight for American independence and underscores the often unrecognized diversity of the revolutionary effort.
Welcome to Black History X, where we uncover the hidden stories of black pioneers who shaped history. Today, we shine a light on James Forten, an African-American Revolutionary War veteran, entrepreneur, and abolitionist whose influence stretched from the battlefield to the fight against slavery. His legacy as one of the wealthiest black men of his time and a fierce advocate for black rights makes him a true legend. Let's dive into 5 powerful facts about this unsung hero. Fact 1. A Revolutionary War veteran at 14 years old. Born free in Philadelphia in 1766, Forten joined the Continental Navy at just 14, serving on the privateer ship Royal Louis during the American Revolution. Captured by the British, he refused, an offer for freedom that required betraying his country. Instead, he endured imprisonment on a British prison ship before being released. Fact 2. A self-made business mogul. After the war, Forten became a master sailmaker, eventually taking over the sail loft where he worked. His business grew into one of the most successful in Philadelphia, making him one of the wealthiest black men in the United States by the early 1800s. Fact 3. Abolitionist and leader in the fight against slavery. Forten used his wealth and influence to fund the abolitionist movement. He worked alongside William Lloyd Garrison, helped found the American Anti-Slavery Society, and published pamphlets opposing colonization efforts that aimed to send free black people to Africa. Fact 4. Advocate for black voting rights and civil liberties. Forten fought for black voting rights, education, and equal treatment. He organized petitions against laws that restricted black rights, mentored young abolitionists, and used his fortune to support fugitive slaves seeking freedom. Fact 5. A family legacy of activism. Forten's children and grandchildren continued his abolitionist work. His daughter, Harriet Forten Purvis, became a women's rights activist, and his grandson, William Forten, fought in the Civil War to end slavery.
Did you know a black man played a key role in winning the American Revolution? His name was James Armistead Lafayette, a black man who played double agent in the Revolutionary War. Posing as a runaway slave, he infiltrated British camps and fed information directly to George Washington. He helped expose British troop movements and even misled them before the Battle of Yorktown, a key U.S. victory. And here's the twist. After helping win the war, James was still enslaved. It took years and a personal plea from the general he helped to finally earn his freedom. The founding of America? It had black fingerprints all over it, but you'd never know from the textbooks.
Just some information that you may or may not have known about our role in the American Revolution and the establishment of this nation as you move into the fourth.
I lost our sister again.
Well, you know, Frederick Douglass says, what is it to us, the 4th of July? Now we have examples of people who dedicated themselves to the 4th of July, and you've denounced us, that legacy, you know, because you continue to cage us up during those times, you know, for another close to almost 100 years, you encaged those who freed you, those who helped free this quote unquote nation that we're living in under oppression.
Agreed, sis. Agreed. Just for my clarification, Brother Black, did you know of any of these folks who fought? Well, you should, military, you should know.
I mean, I'm slightly familiar. I wasn't overly knowledgeable about the two people the people mentioned on the clips. I do know about Crispus Attucks. I know about the black soldiers who fought during the Civil War, and Buffalo soldiers and stuff. But I didn't know much about the two brothers you just put up there until right now. And thank you for my education, sis. We've been a part of everything, everywhere. So I mean, it's kind of hard, like learning new stuff like that now when you've been steeped in so much history and all the books I've read and being in the military, as you said, and in those kind of institutions. Still learning every day.
Mm-hmm. I feel you, brother. I feel you. But, for Brother Tad, like I said, somebody to have that name, when I was doing research and it stuck out to me like a sore thumb. I said, I got to put that in the list because he might be related. One never knows.
Maybe.
One never knows.
Really not many Cromwells. It's funny because, and I like what Brother Black just said. I agree with him 100%. Finally. But no, all this knowledge and information we take in, right? Because in my early learning of where our names come from, I would think that my last name came from a plantation owner, because I hate calling them slave masters. They only owned the plantation, not the people, right? But what I've learned is that the first Cromwell that came here off of the slave ships landed on the Drayton plantation, not the Cromwell plantation, got off the boat as a Cromwell. So it's very interesting because I have to find out, where does that last name come from? Is it the person that captured us? Because I have a copy of the manifesto off of the ship. I have to find it. Got so many documents when I be moving and shuffling and things like that. But it's real funny because my grandfather's middle name was Oliver. So one of my cousins, his middle name is Oliver. His name is Jerome Oliver Cromwell. So that name is passed.
You never know, Tad. Keeping that name alive. Somebody said that Oliver name is important. It's important to our family legacy. So, Oliver it up.
It's crazy.
What I will also say to that, people ask me why Little Tad don't have my first name, and I'm like, because we have to create new identities too. I kept my last name Cromwell. I thought about changing my name, but Rose by any other name is just as sweet. So I'm gonna keep my name, rock out on who I am as a person. So I respect the contributions. I respect my ancestors. And in addition to that, we have to build our own legacies. I think that's something that is missing from so many of us on a grassroots level. We live in a pastime paradise of what people used to do when we have the opportunity right now to do great things, but we choose not to. So we'll say FDMG, and you know what I'm saying? We'll say the Pimp of Pan African. But what are you building right? What are we building right now? Because we see our brother's effort / delusion. But what are those of us who say we're sincere about this? What do we do? How do we build this legacy? And it doesn't have to be community centered. We could just start by rebuilding our family. Because as a Black family in America, we know this thing is fractured, whether you from the continent, whether you foundational Black American, whether you Caribbean American, we know we got this dysfunction that has been implanted to us and sold to us as part of our culture. And we have to reject that and start reclaiming our intelligence, our morality, our divinity. We got to get back into who we are. And that's where we start before we can start talking about what people did 100 years, 50 years, or 2,000 years ago. About building pyramids, but we ain't built no place for our folks to have, somewhere to live. And I think things like that is very important, or will be lost in the annals of history.
Well, I think so many people sometimes
Or
focus
it's the
on
annals of history. I don't say the annals of history. The annals.
God.
I mean,
Well, what I was gonna say is that I think that sometimes, you know, we resolve with the cemetery, right? Like, oh, the pyramids X and Y Z laid there, and what is our current legacy? Yeah, X, Y, and Z laid there, but how do we succeed through the knowledge of X, Y, and Z? And I don't think we've taken heed in the last 200 years of how do we go beyond that X, Y, and Z that happened so many. And we're grateful. We're grateful for that legacy, that we can see that legacy, right? But at the same token, like Brother Tad was saying, what are we leaving right now for the next 1,000 years to say, yo, this is what, you know, someone did. And that's really important.
very. And that's why I was glad that Sister Keisha brought up, you know, the people that fought. Because even right now, with reparations on the table, with people divorcing these political parties, it's important that we have a frame of reference of what we can do. You know what I mean? We have to show that it is possible. When people talk about, oh, we need black schools, we need black businesses, we had all that before. But
what we need to do is not look at the past as, oh, what we need. What are we doing right now to create them? Because our abilities to create them surpasses those of our predecessors, right? And we're still choosing to go into their institution, their this, their that. Where is ours? Where is what we know we can do?
It's in Wilmington, Delaware.
You love Delaware. You moving to Delaware?
I am.
I know that's right.
You're gonna be, me and Kayla done aged out. We can't even go no more.
Now y'all gonna be the coaches and the teachers. That's what y'all gonna do. That's y'all formation right now.
All right. I guess in the next life.
This life. Let's not think about the next life. Let's do what we're doing right now.
Yep.
I think that
it is open for Black History Month, February 30th. Grand opening at FDMG.
31st.
Yeah, the 30th or the 31st that weekend. We're gonna have a cookout, African fashion show, African wedding, with a bunch of 5'5" thick in the thighs queens. Yeah.
You know, winter barbecues are the best.
We going back to a year ago with y'all two beefing and Sister Keisha always in and out. Remember them days?
Me and Sister Marcia is in agreement. We going to the grand opening.
You sure?
Oh, February 31st.
That's
we
right.
said it. February 31st.
2026. Be there, Brother Black.
2028.
He gonna beam right up there from the Bronx. He gonna fly right up over there. He gonna be in there. He gonna have y'all right. So before we move on, Brother Black, did you do your question?
Yes, I did. No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay,
the question is, what is the original hip hop address, zip code included? First person that gets it gets a choice of two of my books. One of them, you get one book. I'm gonna give away another one next week. So whichever one I don't give away today, I'll give away next week. The first one is called I Ain't Perfect, but Take It From Me. It's a semi-autobiography on my life growing up in the New York City area and how I saw life. And then the second one is Boom Bye Bye, Hip Hop Will Never Die. I'll show them to you before when the person wins, and you can make your choice at that point. The first question, what is the original hip hop address, zip code included? The first person that puts it in the chat, give me your address and all that. I'll send it to you on Saturday.
What does the zip code start with?
Marcia, you can't win.
00.
You see Marcia trying to rob y'all of y'all free book. Y'all see Marcia. You see it?
Well, this is a loaded question.
Nobody's on the show to win.
Eurocentric idea of winning where hip hop started, my brother.
Don't let Fat Joe get on here.
Yeah,
You sound like the dude in Living Color.
Oswald Bates.
They used to talk real.
Living Color. His name is Oswald Bates, my brother. Don't get it twisted, black man.
Lord have mercy. Have y'all seen that? The president said that he.
Shut his mic, Sister Keisha. What you said?
The Bronx has now been evicted. But before we move on, family, I just wanted to point out the fact that, you know, now there is a huge delineation that is happening with white folks in Israel. And you'll see more and more videos that are being posted, more and more podcasters that are talking about delineating from Israel, because Israel has been a problem for the U.S. for quite some time. In fact, Israel has been getting all our reparations bread. That's just a fact. They've been getting our bread. And, you know, that's why he said, you know, none of these politicians would be able to align themselves with AIPAC if you all weren't voting for them. And, you know, I'm going to make it until you feel it in your soul that you were
co-conspirators.
Absolutely. And many Caribbean islands are co-conspirators to this fact too, that they don't even talk about. Like, you know, Haiti, when they were gifting the Jews Israel, was part of the initial UN establishment to say, yeah, we're voting for Israel as a state, not knowing what they're doing. And look at their plight, you know, almost 100 years later. Look at the plight of your country because you voted against people of the land for what? They don't care about you. They used you.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but the president say that, you know, maybe
She left us on a cliffhanger this time.
All the time.
Brother Ty, get it.
All the time.
I don't know what she was saying.
Sorry.
The president.
She's back.
Yes, that the president is saying that he may have to consider deporting Elon if he don't stop talking reckless. And let me tell you something. Donald Trump went to the same boarding school as John Gotti. They was in the same goddamn class. So, you know,
Gangster.
he got lumped up quite a bit, and he had to fight his way out. You know, I ain't say this. You know, that's what John Gotti said. Go back to the interviews. He talks about, you know, him and Trump going to the same school. Uh-oh.
Hello.
Do we have a winner, Black?
Yes. Black, don't get cheap and act like you froze now. All
now
of a
you
sudden.
froze. This is sorry, sis. This is how the Bronx behave.
Yup, exactly.
This is how
this
they
is the
get
Bronx.
down.
This is BX. Uptown, y'all. Uptown always
now all of a
freezes.
sudden he froze.
Yeah.
Like,
so
give us that book.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Can you? He's stuttering for life.
Well, if you can hear me,
was coming through. Can you hear me? Stuttering.
Financial unity. I'm gonna give Sister Keisha my email address. Email me, and I'll give you the details, and then we'll go from there. I see you though.
Yo, you gotta come back to us, sis.
Now which book does she get?
She gets the first one, as he said.
What's the name?
He's frozen.
What's the name of the first one?
There you
go.
Got to do better than that.
We got you. We got your back, Financial Unity. Next week, you tell us you ain't contact him. He ain't reached back out to you. We on it.
Listen.
He got you. He's good. He's good.
Yes.
Oh, he fell off.
Now all of a sudden he's falling out.
Now he falling. He wasn't falling all this time.
Word.
But when she won that book, this is how the Bronx get. I told you they shady. I tried to tell y'all.
Yeah, that uptown business ain't good.
So sis, I will send you his email address on Messenger so that you can have it in and get your book. He's coming back in. Give him a minute. He's coming back in. But so with all of that said, right, with the American Revolution, with Sister Marcia saying that, you know, we have to move forward and create an organization that is just for all of us. And I said this to Sister Keisha, I think. Shout out to Sister Keisha. I said this to her the other day, I believe, is that that's not going to happen until the diaspora does its part. And the problem, like we said before on this platform, you know, those baby boomers were in control for far too long because we saw these problems. You know, while we were sitting under them, watching what was going on, we could clearly see that. And that's what Tad mentioned last week. We could clearly see the problems that was going on. And, you know, for a short while, I did indicate those problems. But I don't care. You know, I made some people upset. You know, we can go around the corner any day. Any day we could go around the corner. Okay. I'll leave it at that. But Brother Black is back on you. Which book does she get?
Okay. She can have a choice of I Ain't Perfect, but Take It From Me, or Boom Bye Bye, Hip Hop Will Never Die. I'm gonna show them. You can go ahead and take it. I gotta go get them. They right close, but I gotta get it.
All right. We'll let you get the book covers, and in the meantime, we'll pull you out of queue while you do that. So family, you know, I hope that this 4th of July, like I said before, that you consider the information that we gave you this evening as it relates to the 14th Amendment. All of these other groups want to grandfather clause themselves onto that amendment, but none of you are identified in the Constitution as 3/5 of a person. None of you. None of you. So just get on code. And like I said prior to me cutting off, that the only way the unification is going to happen now is the diaspora must do its part. There is a hard line in the sand. Nobody on this side is crossing that line because we have done too much for far too long. We have given so much to the world and the diaspora, from language to culture to inventions to freedom, business, a business plan itself in this country. Until unification comes from the diaspora, and please understand, I'm not talking about everybody. We know who on code and who ain't. I'm talking about in general, that until we see the diaspora championing what we desire, the answer is going to be no. And that's sad. It's sad that, you know, something as simple of a request. We ain't asking you to bleed. We ain't asking you to sell your children. We're not putting you in a position where you can be incarcerated or lose your home or anything like that. The simplicity is getting on code with us, because we warned you of everything that you're complaining about now. You know, we warned you all what this devil was all about, but you chose to align yourself with an ideology, and it failed you. And it's failing very rapidly. So you guys have to do your part. And I like what I'm seeing too. A lot of commentators, a lot of podcasters, and personalities are speaking to their respective groups and telling them that they have to get on code with us. So kudos to all of you who are doing that. Continue to do that. I'm glad that a lot of you in the diaspora are seeing the forest for the trees. Come back to the ideology that Marcus Messiah Garvey wrote about, that Booker T. Washington attained, that W.E.B. Du Bois also said that diasporans coming in and usurping what is already being done will be problematic. It was problematic then, and it is problematic now. We have come to the end of our program. Excuse me if you hear fireworks. I'm going to kill somebody because it sounds like they're in front of my house, and I don't care whose kid it is. They're going to get these hands and feet if they're in front of my house lighting fireworks, because you should teach your children what they should and shouldn't be doing. Well, if you don't teach them, I will. Without that, we're going to go to Brother Black for his final thoughts and commentary, and we'll get the people up out of here.
All right, I'm back, y'all. Real quick, Sister Keisha, the first book, I'm just going to say it real quick, is semi-autobiography of my life and how I saw life, growing up in the New York City area when hip-hop first started. The name of this one is I Ain't Perfect, But Take It From Me. And the second one is a book called Boom Bye Bye, Hip Hop Will Never Die. Ironically, it was about exposing the music industry, about exposing the entertainment industry with a focus on hip hop. So financial unity, make your choice. And like I said, I'll get with you behind the scenes. You let me know which one you want. Give me an address. I'll send it to you. Hopefully you'll have it within a week and a half. As far as the show is concerned, it's another great show. Thank you, Sister Keisha, Brother Tad, Sister Mama. We had a great show. We learned a lot. I learned a lot. And hopefully I can teach you one more thing before I go. Real quick, the way I see it, we soon coming back to who we're supposed to be. I've been telling y'all on this show numerous times that the doctrine of discovery was rescinded about 3-4 years ago. I don't remember the date now. I believe 2022, if I'm not mistaken. And with that said, slowly but surely, we see that what I've been saying for maybe the last 4 or 5 years is happening slowly but surely with this birthright. This is a very big decision. This is an amendment. We're not talking about a law or policy. This is an amendment. And when you add that to the celestial, and I know my brother Tad is waiting for this one right here, it's slowly but surely, and with the fifth dimension included, it's slowly but surely coming back to the people of the land. Because remember, this sun is getting hotter. Y'all been complaining up there that it been hot for the past week or so. I don't know if it cooled off yet. It's been hot where I'm at too. And this sun is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and it ain't gonna stop. Listen for the whole summer and look out, because a lot of things on the celestial level is going to happen. So to finish, because I don't want to take too long, we got the deportation of the migrants. That's clearing the way for a lot of us to start doing a lot of things, because the funds is being reallocated through the DOGE or Doge, whatever you want to call it. That opens up for us to start even talking more and harder about what my sister Keisha's doing with reparations. Okay. And then when you add that with the all that included, we're going to get the land back and everything. It ain't going to happen overnight, so don't start looking for it next week or whatever the case may be. But I've been telling y'all that Trump is under the orders of the Galactic Federation. He has a mandate, and it's to restore the earth back to us, its righteous owners, as much as possible, as soon as possible. So if you see the trajectory of everything I just mentioned, that's within the last 5 years. We living in the time. Let's get it. I got books for sale. So holler at me if you want them. I'm Basil Medina on Facebook. I'm at melanininstitute.blogspot.com. If you want to be my friend, I'm always posting, tagging people. So if you think you want the information, get at me. This has been a beautiful show. To my Thorough Black Talk people and family, one love. See y'all next week on the bridge.
Sister, I apologize. Financial Unity, there is Brother Blacksmith's email. You can copy and paste it, send him your address, and he will mail you your book. Also, keep in the closing comments your final salutation
the final salutations. Put your appreciation for the show. We will show them in our closing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share this to somebody you think will find value in this. Share it with somebody who may not find value, so you can educate them on what we're really about over here. Yeah, Sister Keisha.
Keep going, brother. Keep going. Let's close out with Sister Marcia and her final thoughts and commentary.
Thank you so much for this discussion. It always keeps me on point as I grow and I learn. I want us all to remember that we all have a part to play in this game called life. And as you're laying on this soil in America, you have a part to play in it. And it's supposed to support your melanin brothers and sisters. And if you're not supporting them, get out of their way, because we don't need nobody blocking, interceding, all of that. All of that has disrupted us for so long, and we can look towards the past for where the disruptions happened and what they caused. You know, like, we could be so much further along, but as long as we keep inviting intruders and telling intruders it's okay to speak on our behalf, we'll have a Diddy case. We'll have a Assata Shakur. We will have anything that will block them from seeing how we can be free. So let's be free, and may time flourish. And if time may not flourish, make it flourish. Fight for what belongs to us as a collective. Brother Tad, thank you, Sister Keisha.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for rocking out with us tonight. There was a couple of things I wanted to hit on real quick. The 14th Amendment, for those who are not familiar, 14th Amendment really applies to Black people who are born here in America, because that came right on the heels of the 13th Amendment, where we were quote unquote emancipated, but everybody else is piggybacking off of what we've done, trying to get paid off what we made. Another thing about this conviction with Puffy, and there's racist implications because it is a derivative of what we know as the Mann Act, which was put in place because white women couldn't get enough of Jack Johnson. So what he did was carried them across state lines for the purpose of being intimate with them, because there is a law called miscegenation where race mixing was illegal. So Jack Johnson took him to free places where he could intermingle. So he was a snow bunny lover. Shout out to the pimp of Pan-Africanism, you know. So when we look at what's going on, what we're fighting, what we're dealing with, we're really dealing with the residual effects of our enslavement, but just not the physical enslavement, the mental enslavement. That's why we always got to identify what freedom looks like, because only you could determine that. In the book, Harriet Tubman, The Moses of Her People, somebody asked her, when did you know you were a slave? She said, I never felt like a slave. I've always felt like I was free. And if you know the history, Harriet Tubman transitioned as a quote unquote free person. So free your mind, your ass will follow. Check me and my partner C Gut out every Sunday at 2 p.m. on OG Wisdom Podcast. It's me and my brother C Gutter live on YouTube. We always going in talking about whatever we want to talk about. And if you're part of an organization or another podcast show and you're tired of the leaders, all on the records, all in the videos, come to Thorough Black Talk.
We're gonna start naming you. You gonna be Tad Knight in a minute.
All right.
Tad Knight?
It's the Bronx. It's the Bronx, Marcia.
No, I didn't get it. Or you kinging him knights? You're crowning him knight?
She missed the brother Black.
I'm so lost. I'm so lost. But anyway,
Suge Knight that at an award show. And
I get it now. I'm so slow. I'm not of the urbanism too much. So sometimes I need a little support. Thank you for the support.
Mark yourself as a tether.
All right.
I mark myself as myself. I don't care what anyone says. I know what I believe in. I know who I believe in. And you want to say whatever you want to say about me, but when I'm out there blow for blow, Don't be in the house. Don't be in the house, and I'm blow for blow because motherfuckers coming for you.
Word up.
Shit.
Word up, son. Word
See,
to my
we
mother.
gotta G-checks the Bronx every chance we get because they out of pocket. You know what I mean?
Crazy. Bronx
But
got checked by Queen.
Also, quick announcement, August 3rd, 4 p.m. Introduction to genealogy. You're going live. We'll hook y'all up. You're going to get down and get busy learning your own family history. So, y'all enjoy your holiday. Y'all stay safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Look out for each other. Look out for each other. All right? Good night, y'all. We out.
On the Brooklyn Bridge tonight, voices strong, knowledge tight. Thorough black talk in the air, changing minds, changing flair. From brother Tad to sister K, warriors got things to say. Sister Marcy brings the heat, brother Blacksmith keeps the beat. Revolutionary waves, they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral light. Thursday nights the world will see Black Power media on a spree. Facebook, YouTube all aligned, breaking free from every bind. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves, they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral light. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves,